Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us on episode 1 of this new Let's Play, Scapegoat's Plunder. My name is RiceKombo with BladeBound Saga, but as you can see, if you guys watched our session 0, we have some amazing friends and creators who we've joined forces with to bring this adventure to life. So I'm just going to have everybody introduce who they are, your channels, what you bring to life in the internet, and where they can check out your awesome content. Rachel, you want to tell us a little about yourself and your little community?
Sure, I'm on the hot seat. I was not prepared. I'm Rachel of the Faint Divinities here on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch. We do live actual plays. Our channel is dedicated to Daggerheart as a system. So we do all actual plays of Daggerheart. We talk about it. We play it. We run it. I'm there all the time, living, loving, laughing Daggerheart. So if you want more of what you see on this channel in this little pirate adventure, come check us out.
Yarr.
And AK, do you want to introduce yourself and what happens on your side of the dimensional rift?
I like that. My name is Allison, or AK. I'm from the Pocket Dimension, home of ADHD 20, the podcast, The Adventures of Bud and Herb, the podcast, as well as a weekly live show, The Pocket Dimension Live, where we talk about all manner of things, neurospicy and dicey.
And
She was so
Seth.
prepared. What a killer.
I wasn't. That just was off the top of my
That
head.
was fantastic.
Upsetting. Thank God I didn't follow it, and good luck, you guys.
Oh, come on.
Seth, what about you? I know you just hit a pretty big milestone.
Yeah.
I did. Hi, everyone. I am Seth McKay from Seth of All Trades is the name of my channel. I just hit 100 subscribers, baby. Recently launched. It's a channel where I always beef this part, so I wrote it down. I took notes.
Proud of you.
You know, it's like an ADHD fueled adventure where I explore all these things I love, like crafting terrain or doing crazy voices or drawing maps. Mostly TTRPG adjacent stuff, and you know, there's a few side quests thrown in there. So, yeah, check it out.
And then last but not least, AJ, do you want to share a little about who you are? And I'm sure all of you know who AJ is if you've seen any of our other content.
We know.
I am AJ. I am also with BladeBound Saga. I just do whatever RiceKombo tells me to do. That's my job with BladeBound Saga. So he says, we're recording today. I say, sure. Yeah, why not? I'm just the guy. I'm just that guy. That whatever he says, that's what I do.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. And once again, my name is Daniel, or RiceKombo, otherwise known online, and I am part of BladeBound Saga. And I will be your GM for this adventure as we journey through the dangers and mysteries of Scapegoat's Plunder. I do want to give 2 quick shout outs. As you guys will see soon, the character art that we have for the channel or for the campaign. So huge shout out to Cozy Cassie. You can find her at Cozy Cassie on Instagram and on YouTube. And she did all the art for our characters. Really excited for you guys to see that, as well as Adam Curtis VO for lending his voice to our campaign trailer. You guys both did an amazing thing and added a really cool layer to everything that's going on here. So, without further ado, let's dive into the story and get ready for it.
Welcome to BladeBound Saga, the Scapegoat Plunder. Shipwrecked on an island. Who are the survivors? Grick, the powder monkey. Chugsby, the lookout. Delia, the tiny tank. And Kora, the personality hire. Will they withstand the island's deadly secrets? Or become its next victim?
The night has swallowed you all whole. With only the cold, the relentless waters to remind you that you're still drifting. The shadows kind of dance across the waters as the stars above begin to vanish from the thick, heavy, churning clouds, with really the only thing cutting the noise is the biting wind. On your emergency raft, this boat rocks back and forth precariously. Each swell ducks water into the boat, just reminding you of just how close you all were to death, and just how unforgiving this ocean can be. It's been 2 days that you all have been on sea. And just as the darkness begins to kind of consume this night, there's a faint glimmer that catches one of the members of the crew that survived with you, Borg. He stands up while all of you sit just looking out, breaking through the rain that now sets. His voice kind of quivers. Run home! And he just like jumps a little, shakes the boat ever so slightly, and then kind of resets his position. He points out off into the distance. There you all see this kind of distant shape in the mist, an outline of what looks to be land against this night sky. But
do we have paddles?
You kind of look forward.
Oars.
You have roll me a duality, just a straight roll.
Sure, will do.
First roll of the session.
First roll.
Okay,
No
well,
pressure.
Here we
it's
go.
It's pretty good. It's a 10 on the hope die, 5 on the fear, so 15 with no modifiers or anything.
Yeah. So 15 with hope. You kind of look through a little bit. One of your oars you clearly have ready. Borg is already grabbing a hold of it and pulling. The other one has a little bit of a chip in it, probably from fighting one of the Mero sharks in the space at one point, taking a bite out of this from a previous day. But you have 2 oars that were always prepped and ready in the emergency raft.
Kora, forgetting herself, immediately grabs one of the oars and starts helping. Very different than you would usually see. She does not do physical labor.
Yeah, make a strength. A strength roll for me.
Upsetting news. Okay, great.
Can I help with that? I'm gonna like dive into the water and start kicking as well.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'll say with that, go ahead. I'll have you, Kora, you go make a strength roll, and then Chugsby, make a instinct roll for me.
Oh, okay.
Decidedly less good. All right, so on the dice it was 8. I have a -1 to strength. 7 with fear.
With fear, I'll take that fear. As you do so, being jumping into the to the sides, your oar kind of reaches in, and as you are screaming with excitement, you let go of the oar and it begins kind of floating off to the side. Borg says,
Della, please, can you get that? It's going. Oh, it's
as
right there.
the oar begins kind of floating off to the side. Chugsby, what did you get?
I got a 14 with hope.
14 with hope. Easily able to kind of like, noticing that the oar kind of goes off to the side, you kind of kick off the boat, grabbing a hold of it, swimming back to the side and kind of just tossing it up. Borg kind of grabs it. It's like, someone else grab this. Don't give it to Kora. She passes it over to you, Delia. Like, passes it between, easily grabbing it. You guys take the next, hour and a half trying to paddle through this space fairly decent. But after the hour passes, you guys are slowly getting closer and closer to the space. Now that you notice, there's a little offset that Borg is kind of like guiding you towards this cove of sorts. And as the rain continues to pour, now making it out, you see huts along the edge of this cove.
We see the outlines of huts. Do we see light at all?
No light, nothing flickering.
And what time of day?
It's been night for maybe about an hour and a half now.
Do you think they're all asleep?
Be friendly.
That feels like something we should maybe deal with in the morning.
The voice of reason, always.
That's me. She looks like
So-
she's about to burst into tears real bad.
We're all so hungry. Okay, but do you think that maybe they have food?
Borg's stomach begins to grumble immediately, the hungriest of the group at this point.
Yeah, Borg, I know you've been wanting to eat Shriek for a solid day now, but it's not going to happen.
Then I say we go in and see if people have food for us.
We could be sneaky. We could be quiet.
Yes.
Really quiet. I'm very good at being very quiet.
Oh, we don't want to try and make friends?
Maybe not yet. Maybe we see just how friendly they might be first. Grick, what do you think?
Grick is passed out. He's just been asleep this whole time. Just the cutest little mushroom snores coming.
Yeah, that feels on brand.
Quick! I'm gonna poke you. I'm poking you.
As you near the edges of the island, Borg takes a look around, then kind of brings his ear close to you, Chugsby.
Navigator, what island is this?
Shit, I don't know, man. So one just out in the ocean. Wait, am I the navigator? I thought Delia was the navigator.
I think
Delia's the muscle. She got bored navigating.
Oh man, I forgot that I knew how to navigate.
Make an instinct roll for me.
Let me see if I recognize it. That's a 10 with hope.
10 with hope. You get the sense that on a normal day, easily you could. However, it's raining. You usually use the stars, and given the fact that you can't see the stars as of now, you have to wait it out. But you'll have an answer as soon as the rain stops.
I'll let you know when I figure it out.
As you kind of hit the sandy edges of the beach, kind of at this point off on this like small little peninsula, about a few minutes walk before actually entering into this little section of huts. Grick, kind of waking up and looking around for the first time, you notice something about these huts. How does this town look to defend itself?
Yeah, so I think that each one of these huts has kind of got like the do you know the barricades that have like the wooden logs that's like poke outwards with the spikes on it? And I think every hut is has that around it with just one way in and one way out.
Your kind of assistant, Borg, being someone who typically sits underground, kind of notices that your mind's churning.
Grick, what do you see?
Right. Well, you see, each hut has defenses. So they're scared of something.
Grick
I
looks
think-
around, doesn't see anything.
I don't know. Should we just go knock on a door and see?
Okay,
Feels bold.
but we're bold. So just remember, everybody. Huddle up, huddle up. Remember, everyone. We're talented, skilled, intelligent, charismatic, professionals. We can do this. We can befriend them, and if not, we can kill them. Right?
Yes!
Rally.
Oh,
As I yell out in excitement.
No. We're sometimes, Grick.
yes,
Sometimes we're quiet. Sometimes.
Okay.
Everybody
okay,
take a D6 rally die, so that and you can add that to anything. That's my little rally speech for everyone, because I don't know what this is gonna be, you guys.
Kora, I just want to tell you how good you are at that.
I just... It's like, whenever we're going into battle and getting ready, you're always the one that just bumps us up. And with that, you are going to take 3 hope as I use my A Soldier's Bond.
Yes.
And Shriek, I just want to let you know, you're a great goat.
Love circle.
You're great. And I won't blow you up.
Oh my god. You're a quiet goat.
You
You're
get
quiet.
nothing. I don't know. I don't have anything.
Chugsby just like puts a hand around Shriek's mouth before Shriek can be too loud.
Okay. Incredible. Who's going in then? Who's going in?
Having just spent my Soldier's Bond, I'm going to take a stress to swap out a domain card, if I may.
Yeah, please do
Let's
so.
just get in there. Let's just get ready.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who knows what's coming? All right.
Who's leading the group? Who takes the first steps forward?
Tiny Tank will boldly start marching.
Delia, you begin walking up on the space. You kind of notice that there's something a little off with the sand. Kind of causes you to flutter your wings a little bit just to not touch it exactly.
Wait.
What do you see that's weird about this? Why does it feel so odd?
There is usually some give to sand, even when it's like the tightly packed, ultra wet kind. And this has absolutely no give to it. It is as if we are walking on some kind of firm flooring.
Yeah, make an instinct roll for me.
Uh-oh. That's not great. That's 10 with hope. Oh, yep. I forgot which was my hope and which was my fear for a second. That is 10 with hope.
You kind of touch onto it, and you notice that there's a piece of wood underneath where you're at.
You guys?
And I bend down to kind of pry it up.
Prying it up, it looks to be a plank of a ship. Floorboards?
Could be a piece of the Scapegoat.
Yeah, does it look familiar?
It doesn't necessarily look like, and like at least from with it being soaked in water, from the rain, it being having a bunch of sand on it, it looks just like any other piece of wood, but is definitely like flooring of some kind of a ship.
It's definitely not the Scapegoat. I know that ship anywhere.
Chugsby,
Yes.
you spot off in a tree some movement. Then you see something kind of running away from you at this point.
We've got movement.
And the movement board kind of reaches over, grabs one of his daggers, and like dives over to the side, kind of hiding. He is a giant, so doesn't hide well, but kind of conceals himself, looking like a mound on the middle of the beach.
Do I get the sense that the movement is in reaction to our presence?
Make a instinct roll for me.
All right, here we go. This is gonna be a good one. Oh, you know what? I've got some hope. I'm gonna use... Clear eyes. Crow's nest can't lose. To dial in my keen eyeballs. And... even with that, that's a 10 with fear.
10 with fear. You stand there kind of grabbing your scope, looking through it. There's a bunch of water in your telescope. Very hard to see.
Blast it all. Well, nuts.
Then from that tree, there's a little bit of a glint that kind of reflects as you just in the next moment you just hear as a shot gets launched towards you. Does a 19 hit?
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
As you take damage, you take a total of 14 points of physical damage as you just feel a ball bearing hit your chest in the center.
I'm I am going to expend an armor slot, which with Shriek, my little goat companion next to me, my armor is 8. So I'm going to drop that below my major damage.
With that being said, as you jump, or as you kind of take into position, you take fire, each one of you scattering off to the side. You've made it to the point where you see a small hut off to the sides, but you also see some rocks form to your guys' right, along with now the tree line that seems to be far north of where you're currently standing. Where are you guys running for cover as you know you're taking fire at this point?
I'm headed for the rocks. Get down!
I'm following as I always would Della. Where's Della going?
I'm flying and following Chugsby.
Alright, then I'm running and following Della.
Grick's going to immediately shoot a bolt beacon at the area where this ball bearing came from.
Yeah.
And you'll see basically just a little powder grenade that's being tossed that way.
So, as you fire this bolt beacon and this power grenade, go ahead and make the spellcast roll.
Right.
This feels right.
That's our little powder mushroom.
That's not bad. That's 13 plus 3, 16 with fear.
16 with fear. I'll take that fear. So with that, you see Borg kind of dive off to the side. You see one kind of what looks to be this kind of Katari-esque sharpshooter with this rifle in hand, along with one individual who looks to have run further away off to where you're at. You guys taking cover behind some of the rocks into this little deluge, as well as another individual who's just kind of shimmying down the tree at this moment, just making it to the ground. With 16, that does hit, so go ahead and roll for damage.
Yep, that is 10 damage. And he is also marked vulnerable.
Ooh, he is marked vulnerable.
As
so
you see his clothes start to just catch fire just a little bit, you can see the embers. He kind of glows a little bit brighter.
Yeah, I'm going to have him make a agility reaction roll to see if he falls out of that tree. With that being said, he rolled a 13, which he begins to kind of collapse, kind of dropping onto the ground. That being said, I'm going to go and spend a fear and take some of my turns here. You see what you see the individual, at least Grick, you're the only one who kind of has a line of sight at this point, with everyone else ducking under the tree or under the rocks. This individual begins running, and then you hear what sounds to be like a bell of some kind. You just hear ding, ding, ding. As you begin to start hearing the sounds of individuals moving, as you hear doors opening and closing. With that being said, the next thing that you guys would see are 2 more individuals who jump out of this house and begin making their way towards you all. That being said, the sharpshooter is going to make an attack roll at you, Grick. Going to be a 6.
Hits.
6 hits? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
With that.
Evasion at 3, baby.
Ooh, alrighty. With a 6, it's going to be 11 points of physical damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to mark a stress, as he has a ace in the hole. When he marks a stress and he hits an ability, you cannot mark an armor slot to reduce the damage.
Okay.
But that is going to be 1 stress from him.
Wow, okay.
All right.
Just like
that being
that.
said, swings back to you, Grick, kind of taking a shot. It hits you dead on. Borg is attempting to grab a hold, and he says, Grick, grab this! And he throws something over to you. Meanwhile, Chugsby, Delia, Kora, you all see a bunch of movement up on the top panel, as well as a bell that you heard ring somewhat to the northeast of where you are. How do you all respond?
We're surrounded!
Delia's gonna start flying.
Yeah.
She's gonna start flying straight for him.
Yeah, go for it. As you fly directly into, assuming the sharpshooter, as you kind of look through, these individuals will have like a bunch of fur on them, kind of have aspects that look very much like cat folk. Make an intelligence roll for me as you kind of just look around. I'll make this a reaction roll.
Okay. You said intelligence.
Mhm.
That is a...
Or knowledge, sorry.
Oh, knowledge. Okay.
Yeah.
Then don't have to add anything, but that's a 13
13.
with hope, but reaction, so.
You recognize this crew.
Hopeless.
These are the Marrow Shanks.
Not the marrow shanks.
Don't like the marrow shanks.
The Marrowshanks are known for kind of their hit-and-run tactics. Grab what they can, sink a ship, and go. They aren't necessarily against the code, but they're not for the code either. They're an independent party that exists outside of the Slanderer's code.
Wily bastards.
Delia's gonna, brandish her battle axe and say, "Stand down or meet my mama," with a glint in her eye.
Yeah.
If I may, Delia would like to attack. She'll kind of, pause a second to see what they do.
As you say this to these Marrowshanks, you see immediately, and he's just quickly trying to reload his pistol or his sharpshooter.
Oh, he's reloading. Then
Yeah,
I'm
he's
attacking.
reloading. Yeah. Go ahead, make the attack roll.
Then here it comes. Okay, so that is going to be with my battle axe.
And advantage.
Oh, advantage.
Yeah, because he's vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
14. Nice. 18 with
He-
hope.
Definitely hits. As you take your battle axe, kind of flying in, swinging, make roll for damage.
And I am going to use my whirlwind ability. When you make an attack roll against a target using a weapon with melee or very close, on a success you may spend a hope to then roll against every other enemy in that weapon's range.
Yeah. Yeah, with that, there's one individual that's right to the right next to you. With this, him kind of being up in the tree, you kind of do this little fibit kind of spin around in circles with your axe. Go ahead. What's the damage?
What's your damage, Heather? Just dropped my die. 11 plus 6 is 17 physical.
17 physical. That is going to be a major wound for the sharpshooter, but for these Marrowshank grunts, you see this one individual kind of just runs up, just got here, and meets your axe as he gets flung, swinging backwards and thrown into the air. You see his body kind of skitter across the wet floor as he is down.
Quick note, any additional enemies I succeed against with this ability take half damage.
Half damage. Okay, so 17. That still is going to be a major. He only had 2 HP, which does do the same thing.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Kora, Chugsby, Delia jumping forward, making contact with enemies. You've seen this scene before, Delia always jumping forth. What is your normal response to this?
I will jump forth as well. I'm gonna use boost, so I'm gonna run up to Kora. I don't know if we've done this before. Normally, I rely on someone else, but hoist me.
What are you doing? I don't want to. I don't want to.
Run straight at Kora, and just jump off of her head.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't jump off of my head. I'm going to, as you're doing it
hair.
on my VL, I play a little song that does levitation to boost you up. I have magic. I don't use strength, but I do use magic. Just holding it, get out.
Oh wow, surprisingly effective. And I mark her stress to boost off of an ally, and perform an aerial attack at an enemy within far range.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna land next to that other goon, Marrowshank.
The Marrowshank, yeah.
And then land next to the other Marrowshank, and make an attack. I have advantage on this attack, and I add 1d10.
Noish.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, that is, let's see, 22 plus my attack modifier, which is 3, so 25 with hope.
25 with hope easily does so.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll for damage there.
Can I also throw Shriek at the other one and have Shriek attack?
Yeah, as Shriek kind of so how mechanically how this would work. Beastbound, always one of the one of the fun classes. However, Beastbound is somewhat the opposite. Shriek definitely comes with you. However, this would be a separate attack for Shriek.
Yes.
How normally it would work is the Beastbound companion, you would command with a spellcast roll. On a success, they do the roll. On a success with hope, you then get to follow up without adding it to an action.
Yes, that's
so
right.
it's Beastbound goes in first, then followed up by the Ranger. Is typically the
Gotcha.
the
typical,
methodology, yeah.
Order of operations there.
So for the sake of what's going on, I'll allow it, and you can follow up with Shriek, because it was a success with Hope. Regardless of what you would have rolled, that would have hit way over its difficulty class. Anyway,
Okay.
So with that, roll. What's the damage on the first hit with Shriek?
So with Shriek, it's 2d6. That's a 6 and a 2, so 8 for
8?
Shriek.
Any modifiers?
No.
Okay. So
No
with
modifiers
that,
for Shriek.
that is a minor wound for that one. And then go ahead and make the attack roll from Chugsby following up.
For Chugsby,
Or
that's-
just the same.
Oh,
and
that's
this
a
just
1 on the d10. So it was 9 points from Chugsby.
Chugsby. Okay. Ooh, point of order, real quick. So it's for Chugsby, you still make an attack roll, so the duality roll first.
Yes. Okay.
It just doesn't add an action token to the tracker.
I see. Okay. Excellent. Apologies.
No, you're
Here
good.
we go.
We'll
Okay,
learn it
so for
together.
Chugsby's
Beastbound's
attack,
great. It does have some nuance.
Right. Which first time Beastbounder, so
Beast
apologies
bound
there.
down.
Beastbound
I'm
down.
sorry.
That is a 16 from Chugsby with Hope.
16. Okay, with that will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. Well, I did roll damage, and it was not
Yes.
great. It was 9.
9. But this thing only had 2 HP, with Chugsby taking out 1 wound, the other one, you finishing him off. Describe to me what your duo hit with Shriek and Chugsby looks like.
It's kind of like as I boost off of Kora with the levitate spell, just slinging me through the air. I gather my wits kind of halfway through the arc, pulling my short bow and letting an arrow fly. Right as, like, with the boost, Shriek just kind of hops, kind of springing off of my chest. This little baby goat, right before impact, just poofs out into a puffer fish sort of goat and slams into the shank as well.
Yeah. With 2, Delia and Chugsby jumping forth, Kora, Grick, what are you guys doing?
Kora is still analyzing the field because we've seen one guy go down. Her hair is getting fucked up. She's hungry. She's thirsty. She's tired. Her hair is dripping into her face and her eyes are starting to flame a little. She's gonna look to Grick to see what he's doing first, and she'll probably act after Grick.
Grick, having just been thrown over another, like a little bit of dry powder from Borg, he hands it over to you to fuel the flame. You have advantage on your next roll that you decide to do.
Hell yeah. Okay. I will run up then. I'll move forward. And you'll see this, my rocket-propelled hand is going to shoot forward.
It might be hard to see, as this is like a wall.
Oh, this is a wall.
So from above here, you can kind of see through it. But if you go lower down the floor in terms of elevation, it might be hard to see the depending on what you're trying to hit.
Can I get up and climb this wall?
Sure. Make an athletics or make a strength check first.
Okay. Can I use my Ridgeborn? You have advantage on rolls that traverse dangerous cliffs and ledges.
Yeah, this is exactly what Ridgeborn
Exactly
would
what
do.
it's here for.
This is
What you were
exactly
made
a
for.
cliff.
All right. So that's advantage plus strength. Oh yeah, that's really good. That is a 23 with hope.
23 with hope, easily. You make it across, and now that you kind of get in range, seeing this individual up in the tree, what do you do?
Cool. I'm going to rocket punch him.
Yeah, you are.
I will go ahead and roll for that. That is 14 plus 3, 17 with hope. And then I would also like to use my spiritual weapon and have the rocket punch fly from his face to the other guy's face behind him.
Yeah, go ahead and make the damage roll.
I have to mark a stress to do that. Okay. Damage roll. That is going to be 10 points of damage. And I believe it's to...
It's to both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 points flat to both
10
of them.
points. The sharpshooter up in the tree, you see your rocket punch as you kind of... describe to me what your rocket punch looks like as a powderman.
So you see, basically on his mech, he's got just got a fist that's always there, and you see it just shoot out in a puff of smoke. It ricochets off of one guy's head to the other, and then he has to immediately reel it in as it's attached to a metal cable. So every time he does it, he reels it back in to reset it.
That's so great. As you do so, you kind of pull it back.
Yeah.
The individual falls on top of the little Marrowshank grunt. The Marrowshank grunt is still up and alive, but the other individual is knocked unconscious on the ground. He is slain. That being said, I'm going to go spend a fear here, take some of these tokens you've given me. As you once begin to start hearing a little bit of movement coming from where the bell was rung, you see a couple more of these kind of grunts begin running across. I'm going to use 2 fear tokens to move to all 4 of them. Or 2 action tokens. As you see a unit begin running towards you, you also see, and kind of off to the side, Delia, as a shot gets sent towards you, as another sharpshooter is just cresting on the top of this roof of this house. Delia does a that's going to be an 18 to hit.
Oh yeah.
With that 18, that's going to be not great rolls. That's going to be 2, 3, 6 points of physical damage, and I'm also going to mark a stress on him to use Ace, which does not allow you to use armor.
Oh man, I was about to say I will use an armor slot, but I guess I will. That's minor, so I'll take the 1 hit point.
Okay. With that, I am going to once again. This one that you just hit is going to jump up towards you, Grick, and it's going to make an attack roll to you.
Yep.
That is going to be a 9.
Hits.
As you see this kind of like billy club, that's going to be 11 points of physical damage.
Okay. I'll mark an armor and take 1 hit points.
Yeah. You all begin hearing the sounds of more movement kind of coming towards you. That is going to be all the action tokens I have allotted up. It swings back to you all.
I'd like to run across and jump on top of the wall if I can. Is that fine?
Yeah, make
Okay.
a strength check for me.
Ooh, a strength check. Very
No.
exciting. Okay.
Unless you have another means of getting up there.
Well, I don't want to give you too many action tokens. I could use like Arcane Door or something, but I'm gonna. I mean, nope. I think that's gonna be what it is. So, can I use Bar Fighter and spend a hope to see? Hopefully this works. Okay. All right. That is going to be a 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a 12 with hope.
12 with hope. Okay.
I will give you a prayer dice as I shoot my hand out to reach out to her, so you'll add 4 to that.
Okay, so a
16
a
with-
D4 or a flat 4?
Flat 4.
Flat
I
four.
rolled my.
So
I rolled my
16
prayer dice
with
at the beginning, and I rolled 3 4s. So promise I'm not cheating, but it did happen.
Okay.
Oh,
I
wow, good
believe you.
job.
Yeah.
Sarah,
Good job.
come through.
Good job on
Thanks.
rolling those dice randomly.
Okay, all right. Fantastic. So 16 with hope. works
16
just fine?
succeeds. Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
make
I'll
your
just-
way up the wall, kind of seeing where Grick put his feet, kind of observing and analyzing prior to. You see the exact same footprints that Grick left.
Okay. And I am going to... I would like to... As I'm standing on here, and again, my hair is coming down, my eyes are flickering fire, and I'm going to let my voice boom across the field just a bit and say, I'm really fucking tired of this. You're gonna need to stop it soon. And I'm going to cast Wild Flame. You said there's a bell happening. I don't like the bell.
Yeah, there was a bell initially. It's still kind of ringing a little bit, but it was like one ringing chime
It
initially.
was still ringing after these guys showed up, though, right?
Correct.
I assume more reinforcements are coming. So instead of doing a wild flame, I'm going to use my Book of Grimoire to cast a wall of flame. So I'm using
Sure.
an action. I'm marking a stress to create a temporary wall of magical flame between 2 points within far range. This is going to cut off the entirety of where we stand as far as it'll extend across us, blocking off everyone who is not yet in range. So
Sure.
the secondary shooter, the 4 new guys coming in place within far range.
You
So-
begin to kind of set up this kind of wall of flame. Begins to kind of emulate some of the thatched huts on there as the buildings themselves begin to get set on fire. The
Fantastic.
sharpshooter that's basically standing on this roof, you see him just ever so slightly as you're cascade or sending this fire along kind of left to right. He catches onto this, and you do see him like looking to be in some form of retreat after seeing this and seeing the building now catch on fire. That being said, the place is now lit up.
I do want to also shout out as that I'm going to look down to my party and say, Delia, Grick, Chugsby, finish this quickly. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Righto.
So, hearing those words, Delia, Crick,
Yeah.
Crick, Chugsby, what do you do?
I will step forward and take a swing at this guy over here in front
Yeah.
of Grick.
Go for it.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. And so that, that feels good. That is a 19 with hope.
19 with hope easily. You take this one out. Go ahead and roll for damage, though he is looking worse for life at this moment.
And I forgot that I do have my body basher ability, so I actually didn't roll enough damage last time, but it sounds like it doesn't really matter. So that's okay. Oops, wrong die. Okay. So that's going to be 19.
19. As you do so, this individual, you kind of bash into him and kind of send him into the roof. You see him kind of crack into this kind of wooden roof, and he kind of gets sent straight through this building, but he is now down.
Delia's a nosy girl.
Sure.
She's gonna, at this point, fly up just to see if she can get a vantage point of what's happening on the other side of the firewall.
Yeah. You kind of fly up. I'll say go ahead and make an instinct check if you want to kind of observe and kind of look in your surroundings.
I only rolled with fear. You're welcome. 11 with fear.
11 with fear. Okay, with that being said, you see the individuals on the other side of the wall kind of, they're stopped. They know they can't cross it at this point. They say, I can't, and they kind of like start talking to each other, saying that, almost looking like they're saying to go around. You do also see like two more individuals like kind of beginning to make their way, but you also see another sharpshooter on a tree off to the north. And it looks like, at least in terms of what you see, there is a building off to the back that the doors are wide open, and you see some individual inside that is on his way to make his way out, but you can't really get a good picture of him at this point.
All right.
But I assume you relay that to your party?
I do. Does going on unstoppable count as an action?
No. So actions, as if you are consuming at least that's how I've been ruling it. In terms of what happens in terms of for an action token, anything that you consume, I've been using as an action. So if you're like drinking a potion, if you're marking a stress to use an ability, or if you're making a duality roll, so that whether that's a spellcast roll or just any attack roll. But activating Unstoppable does not add an action token.
Then I will also activate Unstoppable as I relay this information to the party.
Sure. See, good thing you did that, because I am going to use a fear that you just gave me to interrupt your guys' move. The sharpshooter that's sitting there, as soon as you fly up into the air, is going to take a shot at you. That is going to be
Felt that coming.
an 18 to hit.
Oh yeah.
With an 18, I am going to mark a stress once more to stop you from using armor. That is going to be 12 points of physical damage.
Cut in half, so it's minor.
Yeah. With that being said, I am going to use 2 action tokens to move 4 of these individuals. One is going to make an attack roll towards you, Chugsby, the one that's in front of you. That's going to be a...
You can try.
11.
Ah, that just hits.
And he succeeds. With that, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 6 points of physical damage.
Okay, that's minor. Ow! You rascal.
2 of these individuals, they're going to start making make their way into the space. The first one is going to, I think, within range. The only one he sees at this point is Chugsby. So he's going to throw a dagger towards you, Chugsby. That is going to be a 6.
No.
In the rain, very hard to see. A dagger, you kind of, it flies short just of you. Another
Nice
one
try,
is going
loser.
to make its movement towards you. Another dagger, and this one, I think, can see Delia, so he's going to make an attack roll towards Delia.
Okay.
That is going to be a 19 to hit,
Oh yeah.
and that's going to be 9 points of bludgeoning, or 9 points of physical.
I'm going to mark an armor slot, and that is a big old fat nothing.
Okay, and then one of them is going to just make movement. Is going to get about here. I don't think this one gets in range of you. Yep, it's just shy. The sharpshooter over here is going to attempt to reposition, but since you flew up, is going to make an attack roll first before it repositions. Delia does a 12 hit.
It does.
And I'm going to mark its last stress. This one is now marked vulnerable to stop you from using armor. So it'd be 9 or 8, 12, 13 points of physical.
Major damage.
Okay. And he is then going to kind of scoot on off and begin running its way. But he is now marked vulnerable.
Pansy!
That being said, swings back to you all.
Nasty buggers.
Chugsby, what are you doing? One just hit you.
Yeah, you're a rascal. I've got a short bow equipped now, so
Gotcha. Awesome.
I'm gonna mark a stress, and quickly tuck my bow into the slot that has been carved into my shell, and I am going to reach to my side and pull out my cutlass and say, "Taste steel, loser! You're all losers!"
Chugsby, known to be one of the best trash talkers on the scapegoats.
Yes.
On the scapegoats.
Oh, God, he's got away with words.
Oh man, cutlass is I guess I didn't pay attention when I added this to my equipment. You roll with presence, so that's a 9 with fear.
9 with fear does not hit.
Oh, you have it. You have a rally die if you want to
I
add
do.
a D6
I want to
to
use
it. If you...
that.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a
Go ahead and
D6,
roll
right?
that alley die.
I told you you're intelligent. You're charismatic.
That's a 12 with
12. A 12 with fear does just hit, as that is its difficulty class. So go ahead and roll your damage with the
fear.
cutlass.
So you are a loser.
Chugsby
You
said,
just
"Winners
have to
win,
believe
dork."
in yourself.
That's 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. With that, he was not hanging on much as you kind of cut down this, as Chugsby would quote, loser down. You kind of do a quick slash as he drops to the ground. That is a small point of order. Last time I went, I forgot to move my NPCs. Borg is going to begin kind of moving towards a space and kind of just slowly sneaking around. Borg is, at this current moment, anyone who interacts with Borg will gain advantage in terms of a distraction. So Borg is just going to kind of make his person known in the space. That being said,
That guy is huge, by the way. Like jeez.
Borg is the same size as Grick, as long as Grick's in his mech.
Yeah, y'all both huge.
Borg beefy.
So, still
work
your
out
guys'
together,
swing.
it's fine.
What are you guys doing?
Hey.
I was not saying that's when Kora started romancing the NPCs.
I know. I immediately was like, "Hi,
Hi.
Borg."
It's already canon that Chorus probably tried to
course,
get with everyone on the ship.
Yeah, Cora's a girl's girl and a boy's girl. She's everybody's girl, you know. She's going to. How are you
No
guys
discrimination
looking?
here.
People just took like a round of hits and everything. How is everybody looking? Still okay? A little bit? You can use a little help? Okay. Then I'm going to So I'm then going to, I don't have a perception of how tall this wall is. I can jump down without it being a problem, right? The strength to get up was bad.
The strength
but
was
I can jump down.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you can
Cool.
jump down fairly
Then I'm
easy.
going to jump down into the mud and then kind of just run into a circle here with everyone, and I pull out my VL off of my back. Now it is arcane. Can I request that it's waterproof as an instrument? This is we've been at sea.
Yeah,
but
you've well oiled this thing on from time to time. The water kind of wicks off immediately.
Fantastic. And I'm going to begin playing a relaxing song, and I'm muttering under my breath, and you all are hearing it throughout the area, and each one of you is going to heal 1 hit point as part of that.
I always
So
like
it's
this one.
But yeah, just a little bit of a vacation And then that is one action. I could hide us if we want, but I think we're still good to keep on fighting, right? We'll use other tactics later. You've seen me help people get out if we needed to.
Yeah, the inspirational song from Kora. Who is inspired by this to move?
I think Grick is. I think Grick hears this like really relaxing, feel kind of invigorated, and Grick is going to then proceed to yell as loud as he can, "Hey! Stop it!" to everyone, to them, and I'm going to use bold presence.
Sure.
Me?
No, not you, Chugsby. It's fine. To them, sorry. The losers. So that is a... Can I also use an experience called Scary Face?
Yeah, as long as you have the hope for it.
I do have the hope for it.
Scary Face.
Scary Face. Let's see, 12, 11 is 23, plus 5, 28, 30.
30? Okay.
Ooh.
As you do so,
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna hit.
I don't think it works. I'm sorry.
with that, the marrow shanks kind of look at you. The first one in front of you goes, "You all pirates?"
Are you a pirate?
He looks at his like very clear, distinguished like colors of Marrowshank like vest on. Yes. Borg yells out, "Are we still fighting?"
I don't know
We'll see
yet.
soon, honey. We're checking.
Dang it. What was... There's two ways I can do this. Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
You then kind of hear like the sound of like boots squishing in the mud. As
What
Grick,
squelching, would you say?
not necessarily squelching, but you see kind of stepping up onto this space as a couple other the Marrowshanks at this point have kind of walked around towards you. You see what looks to be a familiar face, Grick. Not the Marrowshanks captain, but one of the higher officers. Describe to me what this individual looks like.
Are all the Marrowshanks the same Katari? Are they all different?
They all have their own little different quirks about them. So this one specifically that first spoke to you kind of has a little bit of an upper, like a large underjaw with teeth that kind of are hanging off. Like this first like tooth on the right kind of is a little jagged off the side and it kind of hinges a little bit every time you opened his mouth. Kind of went like a little whistle as he's breathing.
Yeah. So this captain that walks up, he's actually a Dracona who wears cat ears to blend in with his crew.
That's adorable.
And he's like the super ripped, like super buffed captain, Dracona with cat ears and a tail.
Delia,
Like a
kind
belt
of
with a tail.
flying a little bit down. What's this guy's name?
This guy's name is Snarf.
Snarf.
You see Officer Snarf, this Marrowshank, kind of decorated officer. Last you saw him, but this time, hat's gone. A little bit of the clothing that he has kind of looks fairly weathered, and you do see what looks to be his left arm missing. He steps forward and says, "You, Grick?"
Snarf. Looks like you're all right now.
He looks down at his arm. "Yeah, that's Grick."
What are you guys doing here?
Shipwrecked. What about you?
Us too!
Same.
Scapegoats?
Scape gone.
We lost
All right.
her.
Do you have any food? Water?
Cora's very hungry.
Warm clothes?
He looks around and kind of like makes his way up to like face level with you all. How many of my men you kill?
Whoa.
Just
They
the
did
stupid
shoot at
ones.
us first.
Just the losers.
Yeah, they were all losers.
Did you
need better
spare?
sharpshooters
Did you
anyways.
spare any of them, or are they all down? Are they all gone?
There's one that was unconscious, right?
Sure. I mean, narratively, it's totally up to how you walk up to all of them. Which ones are dead? Which ones are alive still?
I feel like the one that got caught in my whirlwind.
He's probably okay.
I feel like he just got bashed real bad and kind
Sure.
of fell to the wayside, and we didn't follow up.
The one that you threw into the building, or the one that or the sharpshooter?
No.
The one I threw into the building after attacking the sharpshooter.
Gotcha.
I think the
Okay.
sharpshooter I took down because
I think the sharpshooter's
Sure.
gone.
Yeah, they were
Sharpshooter's dead.
shooting at me and my
Fair.
friends.
Fair.
I accidentally stabbed this guy with my cutlass. I don't know.
You did a really good job, by the way. All that hard work is paying off.
Thanks.
Bring the one that's got a big goose egg on him. Bring him in. You guys can stay with us for the night.
As Snarf kind of walks back to like that larger house, he looks at the other two sharpshooters who are still up. It's like, you guys are still on duty? As they kind of were expecting to now no longer be on watch, and they kind of climb back up on their trees.
Y'all aren't gonna, like, murder us in the middle of the night or anything, right?
Depends. Are you all going to murder us in the middle of the night?
Not planning on it.
I don't.
No.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
think
as
so.
of right now.
Right?
In
You don't.
fairness, I did try and talk to that
One pointing to the OG Qatari, and asked if it would like to talk instead of meeting my mama. And it
Mama?
loaded its gun.
You brought your mother with you?
True.
No, and she just kind of pets the battle axe.
You're petting the battle axe, by the way, in the flickering flame of my firewall that is still up. But I will, like, as you're kind of looking and your eyes glinting, I will just kind of drop the wall of flame.
Yeah.
So it's dark.
The wall of flame drops, but the thatched roofs are still on fire. As Snarf says, "All right, you guys all clean the rest of this up." As they kind of grab buckets of water and start pouring it on top of the fire to stop the thatched roofs from emulating.
Surprisingly accommodating for having just murdered some of their folks. Wouldn't you say?
Me and Snarf go way back. It's
cool.
gonna be
Great.
fine.
Works for me.
Maybe they're finally warming up to that pirate's code we've been worried they wouldn't.
Yeah.
As you
They
guys
value their lives.
So you guys walk into this kind of larger, kind of looks like a small, like maybe a town hall-esque area. In the center of this room kind of has a large square fire pit. Doesn't look to be very piratey, admittedly. You kind of look at different places within the space. Kora, you notice that there's some art on the wall. Describe to me what this art looks like.
Oh, God. Don't make it dirty. Don't make it dirty. It's,
Make it dirty.
yeah, right.
It's a bucket of mud. Very dirty.
Yeah.
Dirtiest.
Yeah, the dirtiest. So there's a mud pit. No, kidding. I would say it
Are they
is.
wrestling?
I was about to say, I've since wrestling coming in.
It's
Yep.
of Snarf's first ship that was since lost to him. And
Or ship with a P, right?
ship. The masthead certainly is like a very hot lady, you know. So there's that. But anyway, but it's of the ship, and you can actually see that there are people aboard working, and a very young Snarf, as just a little scaly guy, very young. He's there in the crow's nest, kind of looking out, painted into the scene.
Oh.
Noticing that you guys, specifically Kora, takes notice of this. What's the last thing that I was able to grab before the ship went under?
Do you guys
You were
bring
grabbing
everything?
stuff instead of people?
We're pirates.
Well, I mean, what did you grab? Did you not grab your treasures as your ship vessel fell?
Just my goat.
See? You have a goat. I have a painting of myself.
Fair enough, fair enough.
It's a good way to remember her. I wish we had a portrait of our ship.
Shit.
Walks over to you, Grick, or kind of looks at you,
I cry.
makes eye contact with you. Grick is like, "Are they gonna be okay?" Kind of look.
Yeah, it's been a long 4 days, I think, at sea.
It's at least 14.
14. I can't count very well. Sorry. It's been a long time, and we just need some food and some water.
Well, I hope you like stew. That's all we've managed to grab. Easiest thing to make. We lost our chef. So,
What was their name?
Mordecai.
Good name.
What was your chef's name?
It's Grick
Oh, you're the chef.
And Kora helps.
and Kora.
I help.
Kora's
I'm
really
getting
good.
better.
As
We
he-
call them like almost like a couple name, kind of.
as
when it comes to chef.
Starf's like, well, can you make us anything else other than stew, please?
Yeah. What do you got?
And he kind of opens like a little hatch on this like little cabinet area. It looks to be like some spices that were already set. Looks to be like your average Caribbean type spices. But then he says, out back there's a small garden. But the hell we know what to do with vegetables.
Delicious in dungeon time, guys.
He goes, we've been hunting in the jungles for different kinds of meat. For the most part, all we've been able to find was, rogue lamb around, but herd of sheep here and there that we've gathered. But that was a few weeks ago. We kind of didn't really portion control very well, and
And how long
almost
did
out.
you say you've been shipwrecked here?
21 moons.
Wow.
and he looks over and like looks at a line where it's like they've been keeping track of the moons because they're not going to keep track on their own.
Do you happen to know which morsel of land we reside upon momentarily?
Still no clue. We hope to eventually be able to build a boat large enough, and we've started on it, but there's not a lot of things that are... There's not a lot of things that we can put together to really craft a vessel. Though
How big is the island?
probably could walk around it and... Well, not really sure. We didn't really try, but we think we made it to the other side in about
I mean,
4
did you
days.
see the ocean?
This is an island of some kind, just maybe around, just nothing.
Well, I would just think that if you think you made it to the other side,
You would have
if you
seen
saw ocean, that would tell you.
That'd
An
be
island
The whole
has
thing.
ocean
Well, there's
on one side
ocean.
and ocean
No,
on the
we
other.
only made it. We made it around. We've sent people through, but they never came back.
What's in the middle? Is it jungle?
I would assume jungle of some kind, but maybe some inhabitants of some kind, some sort of monster in the center.
Oh, good.
We decided after losing 3 crews that it probably should be a no-go land.
Have you met any other, indigenous folks?
Where's yet? Rabita, get over here.
As you see Rabita, you see what looks to be this kind of like stubby Atari with like his neck almost looked like it's completely missing, and his jaw is kind of like melded into his chest. And when he talks, he kind of talks with his head moving up rather than the jaw moving down. He has like kind of 2 bulging eyes almost, and his fur is very matted. Probably needs to be groomed, but honestly, you look at everybody and everyone needs to be groomed in some way, shape, or form. And not really wearing any armor or any kind of like bandolier, just wearing a single kind of cloth vest with some leather pants and boots. And he goes,
Yes? Tell them all about the people you saw. So, I saw a couple things one night. They looked at me. They had eyes, 2 of them. I think they had weapons of sorts. Scared the hell out of me, so I decided to run, reported back. When we went back the next night, you weren't there. Kind of ventured in a little further. We kind of split off. Me and Muscle over there. You see another kind of muscly Katari just kind of leaning against the wall. We went one way, 2 of us went the other way. Then those 2 were gone. I don't know if they took us, but there's something out there. Or some people out there. But I don't know.
Rabida it was. Rabida.
Rabida.
I'm Kora. It's lovely to meet you.
And he puts his hand out, and he's missing 3 fingers from one hand.
Nothing at all. Fine. Doesn't care. Yeah. So there were 2 of them. They had eyes and weapons. Riveting. Size? Big? Small? Teeth?
I think they had teeth.
Ooh, okay.
I didn't see them with their mouths open.
Did they look humanoid like me? I'm an Inferus.
Kind of looked like you. Maybe no horns on the top.
All right. Maybe humans.
Maybe humans.
Maybe Dracona.
Maybe not.
Oh, maybe humans. Oh,
Maybe
right,
humans.
All right, perfect.
Maybe elves.
Right.
I didn't see their
Humanoids?
ears.
Humanoids, though. Perfect.
What's a humanoid?
Similar to a human. Oid. It's from the... It's a lot. So... Perfect. All right. So, maybe humans had weapons. Any specific kind of weapons?
A blade.
Perfect.
Or a paddle?
Are you the lookout for your ship? You're
No.
incredible. Okay.
No.
Great. Snuff. The sharpshooters. Have they seen anything?
That's what they're out there for. Other than the beasts that come from the forest, you have your little banthers that jump out every so often that we've had to take out.
Yeah.
Bear panthers.
Oh no.
They exist.
Oh no.
We've taken out one.
Do not
We
care
ate
for
it.
Panthers.
Didn't taste great. Not a good meal.
That's because you didn't prepare it right. I can teach you.
Probably
That's
so. But we just threw it in the stew with everything else, dropped a bunch of spices, and just started eating. They're primarily keeping us safe from any of the monsters. So far, none's reported of any type of people. But you never know. That's why we have them out there.
I would like to ask an above table question.
Sure.
It's night, so it's possible that we wouldn't have been able to see anything much about the island. But as we were approaching it, I know we came across a cove, which I usually, like a small bay, right? So like a cove there, and that's where this little island or this little village was that they've built over the 21 months. But did we happen to see? Oh,
Point of order. The village does not look like that was built in 21 months or 21 days.
there
Yeah.
was what I
So-
was trying to dig into. Was this, I mean, like, at least what we're seeing is a very nice village. This is, like, they've got stone walls, you know? They could certainly do that, but, so, this is a really lovely little village that you're in. You'd have to have been very industrious. We pirate folk aren't really the best builders usually, given that we are usually at sea. How did you?
No, we didn't build this. We just took what was empty. Defended
Is
it,
it?
calling it home for now. Till we get back on the
Dilapidated?
ship.
or nice when
The
you got
what the who?
broken, not nice, ugly, gross, or
Came as it
nice.
came as it is.
And no one came to you and said, "Oh no, don't live in our places."
Abandoned.
Was there the garden still?
Garden was still. We kind of picked at it, and you kind of walk back. Grick, at this point, I assume you've been kind of collecting some stuff from the garden at this point, kind of bringing it in. Grick, you would have saw that the garden is fairly overgrown. Still stuff growing, but looks to have been planted for the season. Then whoever was maintaining it never maintained it. So, definitely planted at least at some point this past year, but not harvested any further.
This is strange. Why would someone abandon what is effectively a lovely domicile here on the edge of the island when we don't know of any nearby islands? Nobody's gotten sick? Nobody's been ill?
We've all gotten sick at some points.
Died from it?
Maybe one or two.
But not a plague.
Not a plague. What's a plague?
Big bad sick. Everybody
Big
gets.
bad sick. Scurvy.
Similar. Sure. Contagious.
No one's
then.
gotten scurvy.
Okay.
Plenty of citrus on the island.
I was gonna ask that. What's the citrus situation like? Good to
Plenty
know.
of citrus.
Situation.
We all the pirates commiserate. We're like the fucking
We're just like,
scurvy. Huh?
Where's the oranges at?
Fuck, man.
One
Borg-
true.
Yeah.
Don't need any more
BBEG.
than oranges.
Yeah, you see at this point there's a handful of people that have been like grabbing a hold of it. And oranges are essentially currency to pirates at this point. And you see a couple people who, as soon as you start asking about citrus, that's when they start getting a little defensive and like kind of closing their pockets off.
Nope, we're fine. We had our boosters before we left port. We're fine. All right. All right. Well, I think we could help you chart the land. Delia, Chugsby, Grick. Maybe we get some food in our tummies. We have a nice little rest. Tomorrow we chart a bit. Explore.
Sounds fun.
Grick.
See if we can find the humanoid people.
I kind of want to meet one of those, what you call them, banthers?
We could
Yes.
Grick,
I
make
was
a. Go ahead.
Snarf. Any extreme severe storms roll through here in the past few days?
I mean, it's been raining pretty much every day since we got on the island. There were maybe 2 days there was no rain.
Nothing.
21 months of rain?
21 days. They've been here for 21 days. Days.
All right. This is just monsoon season. That's fine.
But no unnatural levels of weather?
I'm not our astronomer. I don't know how the rain works. I can't tell the difference between rain or natural and unnatural rain. Rain's rain.
Okay.
Rain
Okay.
is wet, Chugsby, okay?
Can we talk
I
for
mean,
a
I
minute?
know that. All right.
Can we talk for a minute about the
Basic
circumstances
facts.
surrounding your group getting marooned here?
Good question.
Some really weird shit happened to us.
I'm not really sure.
What?
If I'm being honest, it's hard to remember everything that happened that day.
God damn it.
No.
I
I
don't
remember
like the sound of that.
grabbing the painting, but don't remember how we went down.
No, like, very. Big isn't even the word. Just.
I mean, boys, any one of you remember how the ship fell? They all kind of look at each other and they all kind of once again like ask that question. It's like, someone brought this up 3 days ago and we couldn't figure it out either.
I don't want to go to
Short
sleep.
time.
I don't want to lose my memories. I
Don't.
like them.
But I know the ship
The
went
oranges.
down.
That's weird. I don't remember how we went down either.
No, that's not true. No.
Stop that right now.
Borg looks at you. Borg looks at you, Grick. I have to keep your calendar straight, Tister. You can remember where we're at sea most days. You don't remember anything.
Too abnormal.
Okay, that's.
You remember your recipes.
True.
I do remember my
good.
recipes.
And you
Borg in my
remember how to
recipe book.
fire the cannons and which orders to call.
Well, yeah, that's my job. You know, I got that's
Delia's
what.
dancing
fire
around.
cannons.
Well, that's why Darago sent me down here to make sure that you're kept straight. Well, not down here anymore. Up here. We're no longer under the ship.
Where'd our ship go?
Down.
You're messing
Crashed.
with us.
That's okay. Yeah. That's why we're on the small ship. I got it. Sorry.
We're not on
I
a small
remember
ship
now.
anymore. We're on
Took
an
a second.
island.
Do you
Right.
remember your captain's name?
Lumpig.
Okay. Interesting.
Captain
Just
Lumpig.
collecting the data.
And yeah, that sounds about right. Captain Lumpig is the captain of all of the Marrowshanks.
Should we, hey, I need a bit of fresh air. What about you three? Four.
Oh, I love fresh air.
I need to stretch my wings for a bit.
Yeah.
As you open the door, it's still deluge rain.
Beautiful. I walk out into the rain.
I'm amphibious. I don't care.
I care.
Grick, I assume you've been trying to make some food over the past conversation?
Yeah.
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 Make
I
a
just
presence
kinda
check
pop
for me.
in and out. Presence check?
Yeah, make a presence check.
I do. Say less. Okay. That's a crit. That's 5 and 5.
Nice.
Most important roll.
As you finish making exactly what you were wanting, what does Grick make?
Okay, so this is how it go down. So I found some leftover banther meat. First thing I do, I'm getting oranges. I'm marinating it. I'm marinating the banther meat in the orange juice. Find a little bit of salt. Put some cumin in there, some paprika, and
pastor?
I'm letting that sit. Okay. I find turnips that they planted. These turnips, right? If you boil them just enough, they actually can turn into potato texture. So I'm making mashed potato turnips with a little bit of sea salt and rosemary. I get some of the animal fat that they have stored, throw that in there, make it all nice and whipped. And so we're actually having grilled banther meat. It's almost like basically have them cut out like, ribeye steaks is what they look like. And but it's a marinating. The citrus takes out the gaminess, and it helps break it down so it's not so tough. And yeah, guess
I hate that
went-
this made sense.
I
Oh, yeah.
stir something
I
at
took a
some
cooking
point to
class
help.
once. I went to home ec.
Throw a little spice every now and then.
Yeah, I do the salt
man.
bag at the end.
Yeah, with that, you completely have the remaining crew of the Marrowshank
On your side.
on your side, but now preoccupied with the food that you've just cooked, leaving time for you guys to wander off.
Smells
Grick, you
lovely
kind
as
of
always.
share with the rest of the group the good stuff as you guys are eating this outside.
I bring Shriek the giant femur bone from it and let him nibble on that. Does that work with goats? I don't actually know.
Puffer goat.
Yeah.
Puffer goat. Yeah,
It's
of course it
different.
works then. It works. Yeah.
Lovely as always, Grora. That's your chef duo name, right?
Kora?
Grora.
We Charlie's Angels.
Borg
Oh
is.
yeah, 100%.
I don't care what your chef name is. Just
I thought we decided on Korik.
I don't remember. Oh shit! Am I forgetting as well?
Chugsby, why did you bring us out here?
Well, I don't know. I feel like we should huddle up. Something weird's
Group
happening.
meeting. Okay.
What do y'all think? Should we stick
I-
with these fools or
These losers.
These
these
losers.
total losers?
They've definitely lost their memory, right? We could all agree to that. That's what's
Surely.
happened.
I think so.
I'm so scared.
Do you think that has to do with sleeping, Delia? Have any of us heard of something like this before?
Sure. Cora, go ahead and make
Okay, I'm gonna help with that.
Knowledge check for me.
And when I help an ally, I can add one of my experiences to their roll, which I'm gonna naturally use. I've heard a story about that.
So good.
So
yes.
what's
So
the
you have
bonus?
advantage, and it is +2.
Okay, so advantage and a +2 as well.
Whoa. Wild. Okay.
You got this.
Advantage, and this is a D6, and then the +2. Do you want to roll the D6 for me, Seth?
Sure.
Teamwork.
That's fucking teamwork.
That's a 2.
your favorite?
So +4 from me total.
Okay. And then the other 2, right? From-
I rolled a 2.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
2 + 2, 4.
Yeah. So, 17 with hope.
Okay. You've heard stories of people losing their memories before. What specifically strikes you is a tale of old that's really only ever shared as a lullaby to kids.
Tale as old as time.
The song essentially going along the lines of be careful where you go, be careful where you venture. The seas are dangerous, and kind of talk about not sailing too far. You sail too far, you'll go somewhere that doesn't exist. And then that place will somehow begin to exist as you begin to fade away. Using the terms fade away as kind of the chorus that you sing back and forth to a child to kind of have them go to sleep. Kind of the purpose of the song is to talk about a dreamscape. Go and sail into your dreams. But now that you think about it, the song also refers to things like the jungle. Then also refers to the people who we've lost. And then has like this odd line in it that just says, you don't know where we come from, but we know who you are. So come and join us. And then it just kind of ends and then goes back to the chorus. Not really fitting in rhyme and reason in the song. But you do remember this song.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away.
All right, Hocus
Why are
Pocus.
children's lullabies always so dark and creepy?
And about scurvy.
Oh, love that one.
Ring around the rosy.
Pocket full of scurvy.
Kora, do you start singing that song?
I absolutely do. I started singing, give me the fair seas to soothe my soul, but drift too far and you'll lose your road and fade away. Fade away.
You all hear in your minds, ding, ding,
Oh!
ding, ding.
What?
I hate it.
Kora, do you have bells now?
No, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. It's a VL.
Can I repeat the
Ding.
dinging?
It goes ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
And then follows up with ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, dong. Ding, 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 dong.
And then there's a moment where the rain stops. Little bits of pitter-patter dripping. But the clouds still dark in the sky. But no more rainfall. As you feel a whoosh of wind coming from the jungle forest.
We do not feel called to this or anything, right?
Not? None of you feel like you're being drawn.
Compelled.
Oh,
That was weird, right?
this
Then
was
you
sensation.
see to your right one of the sharpshooters fall from the tree.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I didn't do it.
How far are they from us?
About 10 feet.
Oh my
Can I walk
god!
up to
Yeah,
them?
about 20 feet. You guys probably separated yourself a little further than that. But yeah, you walk up to them. Kind of looks to have got hit in the head, but their eyes are closed, still breathing. And then you hear the sound of them snoring.
This one just straight up fell asleep out of nowhere.
Drunk.
I mean, do you think that maybe he just fell asleep on the job and it's really nothing, and nothing is related, and we have nothing to panic about, and nothing to worry about,
Absolutely
and everything is going just fine, right?
No, it was definitely the island. It had to
I
have
don't
been.
think so. I want
Somebody
to wake
hold my
him up.
hand.
Yes.
Do you want to hold Shriek?
Yes.
There you go.
I would like
Emotional
to try to
support
wake
goat.
this guy
Yeah.
up.
I'll
Excuse
prod
me?
him with my bow.
You then, as you guys walk forward and prod, he kind of still maintains asleep. But then you hear a thud behind you. As you see Borg fall asleep as well.
Oh my god, no, we gotta run. We gotta get away from this. We gotta start. Come on, quick. We gotta wait for this.
Kora, as you panic and begin kind of looking around, you see in the jungle, just off, maybe about 100, 150 feet away, you see two eyes just kind of glowing white looking in your guys' direction. Then you see another set of two eyes looking at you all.
Alright. How?
We running or going?
Listen, that's how we get off this island. We have to confront that thing. Head on. Apply directly to the bullshit.
Done.
Are you with me?
Yeah,
Okay.
always.
So,
Start running.
as you guys begin running, Grick, making the first move, let's go ahead and do a group roll. What you see is as you begin, go ahead and make an agility check. So everyone's going to make agility reaction rolls. Grick is going to get a plus or minus depending on how well you guys roll.
And we can use experiences, right?
Yep, experiences are allowed for these group rolls. The only thing is the three of you are not generating any resources off of this. So I don't get fear, you guys get hope.
Yeah.
But I do need to spend the hope too.
Yep.
Roll it. Amazing. You said
17.
agility.
17, yep. Set agility, yep.
23.
23,
Okay.
11.
11. So it's going to be an additional +1 to the agility roll, Grick, as you begin running forward, charging.
Okay, +1. So that cancels out my negatives. Good. That is an 8 with hope.
8 with hope.
Hang in
Grick
there,
kind
pal.
of running forward, kind of trying to
Not
confront.
fast.
You see
Wait,
these
you have a
individuals.
bardic rally die? You have a bardic rally die
Oh,
still?
I do have a rally die. Okay, wait a minute. Plus 3.
Six.
That's 11. Okay, wait. And then I will use my last prayer die, which is a 4. Gives me the 15?
15. Grick, about to kind of trip and fall. Kora kind of runs up behind you, kind of grabs you, pulls you up by the shell that kind of is starting to tip, kind of pulls it back so you kind of get a little bit more stable. Begin running. These individuals not reacting fast enough to seeing you guys. You're able to kind of close the distance a little bit. At this point, you're now about 90 feet, but they begin to start running as well. We are going to trigger a countdown here. Countdown currently is set to started at 5. We're now at 4. For every success, the countdown drops. You need to get that countdown down to 0 before they run away.
We're trying to catch them, yes?
Yes, so what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to burn a stress to
Go
use
for it.
deft maneuvers. So I can move anywhere within far range without making an agility roll to get there. And I just take off.
Yeah, with that, what I'm going to have you do narratively, using deft maneuvers, I'm going to give you advantage, but you're going to help this next set of the rolls. So I need everybody else, once again, let's go ahead and do another agility reaction roll
God,
while
okay.
Chugsby helms it.
That's
Alright.
8.
Okay?
Okay, I'm gonna use my rally die on this.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Much better. That is gonna be a 14. With hope.
14. Okay. And
But I
then
know that
Delia.
doesn't count in this case.
Only a 9.
Only 9. So with that, Chugsby, that's going to be a -1, but you do have advantage this time around. So your normal agility plus advantage.
Yes, so I rolled a 17 minus 1 for 16.
17. And then is that with hope or fear?
Fear.
Fear, okay. So with that, you manage to make your kind of beginning moving your way, but you see what looks to be these individuals begin to kind of turn. You see one of them raise their hand, starts kind of ushers it right to left as you begin to see vines and trees kind of start like moving in to kind of close the gap. And
Delia!
That is a success, but you lost sight of them for a moment. How do you regain sight?
I'm gonna fly.
Yeah, flying kind of, go ahead and make for me, let's make this an instinct roll, Delia.
Okay. Thankfully, I am pretty good at that. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to go ahead and spend another hope and add all the small things.
Sure.
To make that a 19.
19.
With fear.
Yeah, 19 with fear. With that, as the vines are starting to close and as some of the tree branches kind of start moving into the space, you're able to kind of wisp and navigate, then looking behind kind of as you're going through, using your axe, chopping up at the space, clearing a way for your friends to move. You find sight of them once more. They begin to kind of look as if they're heading deeper into the jungle proper. At this point, as you're chasing after them, they kind of start going downwards. How do you guys react to that?
Question, are they within far range?
Yeah, they are. You're at this point, I would say, yeah, you're definitely within far range at this point.
All right. Well, then I'm going to run forward and we're say, we need more visibility. Here it comes again, guys. And I'm going to cast Wall of Flame in front of them, cutting off their direction. And it just blares into them, casting light across them so we can see more clearly what they are at this point, hopefully.
Yeah, make for me a spellcast roll.
Really?
To add a roll.
It's not
just to add a roll to this, because we're in a countdown.
Got it. Okay. It's just a regular spell cast.
Just a regular spell cast roll.
So I can add
it's still a duality. So you're more than welcome to add your so as a bard, presence is your spell cast. So you're gonna add your presence, and then you're gonna add, if you want, you can use hope to use experience, etc.
I'm gonna try to add. I want this to work. So I'm going to try to add a couple. I'm also at max hope, so I'm going to try to add a couple of experiences to this, but I have to channel bardic stuff. My voice kind of resonates out of me as we're running forward, and you all hear me break into a little bit of a song. Please, 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 don't try to hide. And please, 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 don't make us the bad guys when you tried to ruin our night. And it's going to blare in. That way I can add my famous overseas +3 and my personality higher +2. I'm going to spend 2 hope. And
would you like some help as well?
Yeah, I fucking would. Yes, because I think this shit matters.
Cool. I'm going to help as well by just shooting some quick short bow shots, just like if they're trying to divert around the wall or something, just to kind of like spook them. Okay. Awesome. So I'll roll the help die, and I'm going to...
Yeah. All right.
Hurting them.
And I add an experience whenever I help as well with tactician.
That's incredible. So my hope
+6.
die, my fear die. Here we go. +6.
Roll the d6, Chugsby.
Yep, I got a 4 plus my experience using clear eyes just as I do these precision shots.
Okay, so all in all, that would be 27 with fear. However, I have fearless as an Inferis. When you roll with fear, I can mark 2 stress to make it a roll with hope instead. It's a 27 with hope.
Okay.
Nice.
With that, cutting them off, you able to make it now at this point about 30 feet. Wall of fire kind of curves around them, blocking their escape. You walk up and you see these individuals as the moonlight at this point, the clouds kind of part, shining on them. Kora, what do you see?
I get to describe the creatures?
What do they look like?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this. Okay. They are shaped like humanoids, but a little bit ambiguous, right? because the edges of them are blurred and smoky. They kind of drift in the wind as it's moving around. Their eyes, however, are glowing just a faint white light as though they were actual eyes. And across their bodies are kinds of shapes that make out humanoids again, but painted in constellations that flicker and glint in the light.
Dope.
Whoa.
Realizing that they've been made, pinned, looking at you directly, Kora. No one has ever gotten this close to us. Awake. Why did you not fall asleep? The song of the Isle.
We've had a rough few days. We're not quite ready for a lullaby. What are you?
We are the light of this island. The voice who calls. A song whose melody echoes. We are who draws. We are who brings.
Did you bring us?
They smile. Teeth kind of the void, just these constellations on their mouth that kind of hing from edge to edge of their smile. Little bits of glint that shine. Didn't we bring you? Did you listen?
I'm going to... This smile, was it ominous, eerie, spooky, or friendly?
Make an instinct check for me.
Alright, give me just a second. That is a 12, with hope, though.
There's kind of a mischievous to it, a little bit.
I'd
Kind of
like
hard to tell exactly, though.
So I want to try an intimidation. I'm going to pull my rapier, and the song that I was singing, my voice kind of echoes a little bit more, and it continues. Murder is one thing, self-defense another. I beg you, don't make us hunt down your poor mothers, oh. Please, please, please.
Make a presence roll for me.
Okay. I'm going to take Dread Visage. I have advantage on rolls to intimidate hostile targets. And I'd like to again pump in my famous overseas and personality hire. If you'll let me have it, I have plenty of hope for it.
Sure.
While she's doing this, I whisper to Chugsby and Grick.
I'm so glad she's on our side.
Yeah.
She's really scary sometimes.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say something really dumb. But her line was way cooler.
Way better.
22 with hope.
22 with hope. So what do you want from us?
I will look around to the group and let someone else kind of speak at this point.
What do we want from them? I don't actually know.
Answers.
Answers.
We want answers.
Yeah.
We want
I
answers.
back you up. I push Delia forward.
Yeah, you're now in front of us, the leader.
Yeah, Delia now, like, you know, bolstered with a hope and awe of her bestie, Kora, you know, is going to try and, like, get on that level.
What are you doing to these people? What were you gonna do with us? Why are we here? What's the meaning of life? Just tell us already.
To find the answers that you seek, you must first ask the questions you really want to know. As they begin taking a step back towards the fire, as you begin to see their bodies burn.
Oh no, I don't even need to roll damage. They're just willingly gonna die because it does hella damage if they pass through it.
Yeah. As you begin to see their bodies burn and these little the mists begin to kind of dissipate into the fire, the starry forms kind of blink and flicker out. As you walk forward, you see a physical body. Do you put the fire out, Kora?
What can we see? Is it on the other side of the fire or standing
You
in
see
the fire?
feet and boots that are currently immolated in fire. On the ground, lying prone.
Oh god, yeah, I'm going to and pull down the fire and my eyes kind of deglaze.
Fire's gone at this point. You look at these individuals, bearing a resemblance in what you look at. Look down. One you don't really recognize. Looks to be maybe humanoid, or human in some ways. Has kind of a fair face, but now his body charred. The other individual, you do recognize some things about it. Face still hard to decipher, but very clearly wearing Marrowshank colors. With this, you look up at the sky as the clouds begin to kind of close, the moonlight kind of gone. All that sits now is the darkness of the jungle. Looking back, you see very faintly the light of the ocean reflecting as water begins to pour as it rains, leaving you all with more and more questions of what in the world is going on and where are you. And with that being said, that's where we end today's session.
Now, intimidation check.
Can we
I want
take
to intimidate the DM.
Can we take, something to, proof of identity
Yeah.
off of these figures so that way when we get back to camp they don't
You
think we're
can
full of
easily, if you would like, bring the figures with you
it? Okay.
back to the camp.
Delia's very strong. She'll sling one over her tiny shoulder, and it's comical, but she's
Tiny
able to-
tank.
Yeah, so with that, everyone, that's the first session of Scapegoat's Plunder. You guys have arrived on an island, not sure what exactly is going on. Well, with that being said, we'll figure out what happens next time.
Wow.
We know nothing.
I'm more confused than when we started.
All right, see everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks, Bill.
From ink and steel, stories are forged. We are BladeBound Saga.